Hi, welcome to another episode of Bunny Hugs and Mental Health here on YouTube. I'm your host, Todd Runnebaum. Hey, hit like and subscribe and hit that bell, tell friends, all that good stuff. You can even listen to this episode and a bunch of other episodes on the audio podcast on Apple and Spotify and all those other places. This particular episode is with Amy Ronhaar. She just wrote a new book called Raising Amy. And it talks about all her. Well, she's had a fairly traumatic life, including being kidnapped to join a cult. Well, that's my interpretation of it, anyway. But now she's doing well, and she wrote a book and about how she got through it all. And well, I'll let her tell it. So without further ado, I give you Amy.
It's just exhausting, not because of the subject matter, but just getting people interested in it, because I'm not a celebrity. I'm not famous. And this is a big time for women's memoirs. Like, obviously, Britney has her memoir, Julia Fox has her memoir, and Hillary Burton has a book. And then all these other people just drop memoirs. And so it's a big thing right now. And I'm not, I don't have a team of people pushing it. I don't have marketing. I don't have any of that. So that's the exhausting part, is just getting myself out there on my own. Right.
Which to me is just as important as some celebrity who does have a team. Like my kid's book here, I don't think I've made a dime on it. I think I've broken even.
Yeah.
but which was satisfying enough. It's like, okay, that's, I didn't want to lose money on it, but I just wanted people to have a nice book. And
it's going to live on forever now. So
that's right. Your book it's in the universe forever now.
It's in the universe forever, which is all I wanted.
So tell me a bit about what exactly is your book about, and your mental health, like why a mental health podcast? Clearly there's some trauma and mental health subject matter.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely a lot of mental health subject matter. I have been a patient. I've been in therapy for 5 years now, so I can recognize mental and behavioral health and like the difficult everyday practice and journey that it is. And writing this book and putting it out there for the world, that definitely did a lot for my mental health. It was a choice, and definitely I had to work on my book like with my therapist. Like, I had to like talk to her as part of the process, because it's cathartic, but it's also, it's extremely difficult to like, especially when you don't have a team of people helping you. I have to relive these things every single day, pretty much. Like, I'm rereading this every day. So it just got to the point where I was like, I honestly can't work on it any longer. I just have to like move on. And now that I'm going to be 30 next year. And so it felt like it was time, and it felt like I had so much to put behind me, but I'm ready finally to put that behind me.
Right. Yep. Oh. Check. Okay. I'm still there. It's very healing to write it, but as we know with physical things, sometimes healing is also very painful.
Oh yeah.
Like even a scratch will get very, very itchy while it's healing, and so
yes.
So yeah, I fully understand how that would be cathartic, but also painful at the same time. So, so maybe tell me a bit about the book and like your story.
Yeah, my story. Geez. Raising Amy. I pretty much became the surviving member of my family at 10 years old. And
I saw that. What does that mean?
Well, I mean, if you read the book, it kind of explains everything. But by the time I was 10 years old, all the men in my family were passed away. My father, kind of up and left, basically figuratively dead, you could say. And at this point, I mean, dead for all I know. My sister did the same. And I was pretty much abandoned and left alone on the planet at 10. I had guardians later on who...
Sorry, where was your mom?
My mom had passed away at that point.
Okay.
Yeah, my mom and her mom both passed away within 8 weeks of each other. And yeah, so it was just a lot of trauma, a lot of grief, a lot of things I didn't even know about that existed in the world happening to me at one point. And was not able to reconcile with any of that for a long time, a very long time.
I suppose, yeah, being 10 years old, it's like you're just worried about where you're going to have your next meal, let alone trying to process grief and abandonment.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't even know what grief was for
Hmm.
many years. So that was something in and of itself. And I spent a lot of my childhood thinking, that something was wrong with me, that I had issues and I needed to be like locked away. And like, it was just like so horrible.
Hmm. What made you? Why did you think you had to be locked away?
Oh, well, because I was a kid. I was just like acting out. I was being like angry and, I yelled at everybody and I hated the world and I had no idea what I was going to do. And
So you were kind of looking around at other people's behaviors and lives, and you're like, I'm not like them. Yet I also can't help but control my feelings. So then
I
you
just
thought
had no
something's
idea.
wrong with me.
Yeah, I had no idea what to do. And then like I got guardian parents and they
Hmm.
weren't
Was
very
it?
nice. And they basically told me that something was wrong with me and that I acted out. They accused me of having many, many serious disorders that were not true, just because I was angry and just because I was, you know what I mean? Or any type of emotional response. It was like, oh my gosh, we need to like send you away. We need to put you on medication. We need to do something. And really, that was never the case. And so, yeah, I spent a long time thinking like I was just completely screwed up and something was wrong with me. I had no idea. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, and that affected me for a long time and how I saw myself for sure.
So were your guardians? Did you know them beforehand, or was it just like some
Um,
strangers?
no, I did know them beforehand, and it was actually one of my mom's best friends that she had known for like 40 years and had grown up with. And I had known him, and so I thought he was cool. And because my mom loved him, I loved him. And so, when my mom passed, I initially was like, oh, okay, like I'll go, this is where I'll go. And then it just quickly turned so sour and
Hmm.
volatile and scary. And so I only lived with them for maybe 7 years before I just like finally took off and decided to be on my own just for good. I was just like, I'd
Hmm.
rather take my chances of being on my own than like try to live with these people.
And living with them, you were you diagnosed with anything, or you just absorbed a bunch of trauma?
No, I just absorbed a bunch of trauma. They took me to people, but I was never diagnosed with anything. I do have a memory of like one time they did try to get me to take medication, but they almost, in my memory, it's like they almost used it as like a way to guilt me. Where like I remember I had acted out and they pulled out these pills and were like, you need to take these pills now, da 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 da. And I was like, oh my God. And so I like freaked out because I was like, I can't believe something's so wrong with me right now that like, I'm just a kid and I'm like, I can't believe something's so wrong with me. You guys are telling me I have to take this for the rest of my life. And like, I don't even know what it is or what you're telling me I have or what you're telling me is wrong. And now you're saying if I don't take these, I'm going to like act out and be someone completely different. It was just a lot. It was so much to process and having nobody around me to like guide me or tell me otherwise. It was just, and because I trusted this person because my mom trusted this person. And I'm thinking if my mom trusts this man and his wife enough to take care of me, then I need to listen to what they're telling me. And so that's kind of where it all came from. And so, yeah, after like 7 or 8 years, once I got closer to being an adult, I was just like, something in my gut told me just like, just turn around and leave and don't go back.
So you don't know what those pills were to this day?
No, I have no idea what those were. I just remember them pulling out a bottle, and I remember being in their bedroom and they pulled out this bottle, and I remember them kind of like cornering me and being like, you got to take these. And I don't even remember if I did end up taking them or not, but I remember them cornering me about it and saying all of that. And I was just like, what the fuck, you know?
Yeah. You can swear.
Okay, cool. Cool. Okay, cool.
Were you close to your mom then? Was she like
extremely? Yeah, that's why the whole book is pretty much about her. She's on the cover. That's the cover of my book. That's me and my mom, and her name's Arlisa. The book is split into 3 parts. It's my memoir, but it's told in 3 parts. And the first part is those 10 years I spent with my mom and my grandma when my family was alive and when my sister was around. And then the second part of the memoir is my mom's life. And then the third part is raising Amy. And it's everything in a nutshell over the last 20 years.
So you said you trusted them because your mom trusted them. Was that trust right up until like near the end when you're like, I got to get out of here? Or were you questioning that trust throughout?
Oh, I was questioning it pretty much right away. And it just built. Everything just built. And then when I was, it got to the point where I almost just couldn't even be in the same room as these people. I just stayed in my room and tried to avoid. And
did they have kids?
Yes, I briefly did mention all who was around, but there's no names or anything like that in the book. But yeah, when my mom passed, it was my sister and I, and then we went to live with her friend and his wife. He had 2 children already that were older than my sister and I, and then they also had a child, a baby that came after I moved out, but they did end up having a baby later on. And so, yeah, it was a lot.
So your sister did move with this other.
Yeah, my sister came too, but she distanced herself from me like right away and just like shut herself off from me. Didn't want anything to do with me. That was she processed things in a very different way. She went inward, I went outward.
Right. Okay. So she experienced a lot of the same traumas and stuff.
Oh yeah.
That, like, living with them, like, do you mind talking a bit about?
Living with them was a very different experience because of our behaviors. So because I was very outward, that provoked a lot, especially out of let's call him the dad of the family, for lack of a better, because I'm not going to use names. But
the father figure.
Yes, the guardian dad, I usually say. But
right.
It provoked a lot of anger in him and in his in his kids, in his sister, in his wife, just in everyone else. That kind of provoked a lot out of them. And then whereas my sister was very inward, she was tight-lipped. She did everything she was told, exactly how she was told to do it. She didn't question anything. She didn't want to know anything. She didn't want to be, part of the drama, you could say. And so even though it would have been a vital point for her to have stepped in and done anything at any point in time, that just wasn't her.
So she was just trying to get through as well. She's dealing with everything. She's probably feeling resentment seeing you act up. She's like, fuck, why can't Amy just shut up and just be good so we can just get through this chunk of our lives?
Yeah, why does it always have to be something with her? Yeah.
So actually, to go back a bit to talk about your mom, I know you kind of talk about some generational trauma before you even are born yet. Do you want to maybe just set the
what
scene
do you
a bit? Didn't you? Am I wrong? I'm sorry.
No, you're
Didn't you
good.
talk a little bit about like your mom's growing up and her parents, and wasn't there a little bit of?
Oh, well, I mean, when my mom grew up really well, but when she was, I mean, younger, she just became a more of a rebel, and um I think more of the trauma came just like right after I was born, because her dad died, and then she had this cousin who got married and died really young, really quick, and it was like all
Mm,
within weeks of each other that she got married and died, and she was really young. And then my mom's grandma died, and then my mom's mom died, like all right after each other, and she just like
right.
lost her shit, and like, and she was a single mom at that point, and now she had
Okay.
nobody, and it was like, that's where the chaos pretty much started. And I was only like 8 or 9 as everybody's starting to like die and everything's happening, and my mom's like freaking out. And yeah, like when I was born, all the men were gone is what it was. And so
Mm,
just my mom's dad had died, I think, of a heart attack, and then her grandpa had died. Not really sure how, to be honest. And then yeah, she just had, all the men were already long gone by that point.
okay. So she's dealing with her own stuff. She's single. Her husband's left, and then she dies. And
Yeah.
okay, so now you're like, uh, yeah, like you said, the sole survivor in a way.
Yeah.
Um, do you mind talking a little bit about what the living situation was? I mean, you kind of, I mean, I'm trying to say nicely, but also I don't want to feel like I'm exploiting anyone ever, or that I'm trying to create trauma porn, as they
No,
call
say
it.
whatever you want to say. It's all good.
Uh, like
You
I
don't have
just
to hold back with me.
I'm curious what traumas that you experienced with that other family. If it was
Oh,
like, was there physical abuse? Was there like neglect or?
yeah, there was a lot. And I did, yeah, everything's in the book too. So it's just like
Hmm.
I put everything out there and let it all go. And yeah, when I moved in with this family, it became a lot of anger, and it was like, I want to say physical abuse, but it wasn't like hitting and like kicking and stuff. Although there was like, like slapping and
Intimidation
things
and
like that. But it was a lot. He had this thing where he liked to do, where he was a big man, very big man, like six, I want to say like 6'2", maybe taller, and like 250 fucking pounds, maybe bigger. And he was huge, very
mm,
top heavy, just a big guy. And he did this thing where he would just pin me against a wall with his forehead and just put his fist right here and pin me and just hold me there and just scream in my face and wouldn't let me, move. And so it was a very like, in my body, I feel it in my body. Even I can hear it. My voice is like trembling, and I can feel my whole gut like tense up right now when I did that. Oh, so
uh,
weird. So weird. The body just remembers. But
uh-huh.
yeah, that's what he would do. That was his thing. And so it wasn't necessarily like I would get my ass beat, and he would do this thing too where he liked to whistle down the hallway and like tap along my bedroom walls, and then he'd come in and just scream at me, fuck with me, call me names, just fuck with shit in my room, just come in and be a dick, and then
Mm.
go leave or go in and like be a dick and start shit. Oh my gosh, I can hear my voice. It's like shaky. I can hear it.
Are you ready to promote the book?
I can hear it. No, I can hear it. That's so wild. But yeah, he did. So it was like weird shit like
Hmm.
that. And so, still initiating as much fear as possible without leaving marks behind.
Right. Physical marks. Right. So he's just the big, intimidating bully asshole who didn't know how to control your emotions. And he too was then emotionally dysregulated, it sounds
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, yeah.
Not that I'm a professional or a doctor or anything. This is just kind of what I'm.
You sound pretty spot on. Sounds pretty spot on to me. Yeah, yeah.
Do you know if he grew up in a kind of a traumatic home or
Oh,
dramatic?
yes. As
Okay.
far as I know, it was all trauma, all bad. He experienced a lot of physical abuse. Wasn't very kind towards his wife. His the mother of his children, I should say, and that resulted in a very ugly divorce, which also traumatized his children. And I know that was a big reason his daughter specifically acted out towards me, because she had a big thing about her dad not getting time to like be with her dad before, like, so it was like one trauma happened and then right after another, and she didn't really get to process it and like be with her dad and process that before we came along. And and she did tell me that. Yeah, she did tell me that at one point. Like, she straight up did tell me that was the deal. And so the hatred was not a secret from anyone. You know, I knew. That's why that's why I just built, and I gave less of a fuck on how it behaved. And I just was like, okay, fuck you. What are you going to do?
So did you feel like they resented you before you even started acting out? So what the fuck? I'll just be an asshole then.
Yes.
Like, if you're going to resent me, then I may as well just do
whatever I want. Yeah. That's exactly how it became. And especially because like, I still like, the only real issues was that we weren't getting along. Like, I still wasn't doing anything more to fuel the fire besides just arguing and screaming and temperamental, rage. And it wasn't, I didn't add any substances to the fire. I know that the father figure did. I didn't. You know what I mean? And so I know I didn't do things like that. And I still went to school and I still tried to get good grades and do things like that. It was just at home, just that home life that was really fucked up.
Okay. Because, that was going to be my next question. Was there other traumas or other problems in other spots in your life? But no.
I mean, I had a little bit of trouble in school. Like, I did get into like a girl fight when I was like 15. I got in a girl fight with someone and I got suspended for a couple days, but
that's normal teenage stuff.
Yeah, it was just it was just petty girl name calling stuff, and we pulled each other's hair out. And
what was her name? No, I'm kidding. It was Nancy, wasn't it? Fucking Nancy's.
Fucking Nancy, dude.
No,
yeah, but other than that, I mean, no, I was really good in school and I liked going to school and I loved my English teachers and I loved my friends. I had a great time and yeah, I just hated going home. And my sister wasn't there for me, so it wasn't like that made it any better. You know what I mean? I had no one to back me at home. So
So you end up graduating, or did you leave first or graduate first?
I left first, right before my senior year started. And then I, made it with friends. I lived with friends and their parents, let me stay with them. I graduated.
Better home life with friends?
Yes.
Families?
Yeah. I mean, I won't lie. I think I definitely, they were short-lived because I think I added a lot. I mean, people already have stressful enough lives, and I don't understand that yet because I'm a child. I'm a teenager. I don't know. And I think when I came into people's houses at that time, they were doing it out of the kindness of their hearts and trying to help me graduate, but I'm sure I added so much stress and unnecessary chaos to their houses when I came in because I'm just tearing through and I have no idea the scope of anything. And I don't even care to take a look at it. I'm just fucking ripping through my teens. And but I did eventually graduate. I graduated from Woodlake High School. They just basically gave me a paper and they were like, if you take this around and have people have your teachers sign it off, you're good to go. You have enough credits. Because I had been to go back, my guardians had sent me to Utah. They had me like taken in the night and sent to Utah. And they do school year round. So because I had did that, when I got out, I had enough credits when I went back to public school, and I had left them to go graduate early. And so they were like, if you just get your teachers to sign off that you have passing grades right now, like school's over in like 6 weeks. So like, you're good, just get out. And I was like, peace. And so I didn't have any graduation. Wasn't anything like that. I was just like, I'm taking my credits. I'm getting out. Goodbye.
So what was in Utah? Just a private school that they could just send you to and be like,
no, it was a residential treatment facility illegally operated by people named Daniel and Zelfa. I will give the names. And that was
I'm a little scared too.
You can cut it, but it was in Cedar City, Utah. It was called Integrity House. I think it's shut down now. Paris Hilton is actually really vocal about this. She went to a thing in Provo. She had a very similar experience. It's these like they're these teen attitude industry. I forget what the term is right now.
Did you meet Paris?
No, I definitely had we had the same exact experience. And that's why I love that she's speaking out about it, because it's really fucking scary. And I know it happens to boys, and boys go to like usually outdoor camps, but girls, we get taken in the fucking night. These men come in, they take us in the fucking night like we're being kidnapped, and they take you. They're not telling you where you're going. They're not giving you any answers. They're just dead quiet, joking around, having laughs in the front seat while you're in the back seat, completely unaware of where you're going. And they took me to the middle of this neighborhood. It looked like a totally normal house on a totally normal street, scary as fuck. And they take me inside, and I didn't get to walk back out on my own for almost a year.
Wait. So this is a treatment place. Treatment for what? You weren't diagnosed with anything.
My question exactly, Todd. My question exactly. And it was just like I said, I came later to find out and uncover that this was an illegally operated place that had actually moved from Arizona, and I think another city in Utah as well. These people had moved around, and they'd actually taken some of these girls with them through these other cities to these other facilities. And it's like, honestly, it's arguably worse than prison, because in prison, they don't care if you're talking, they don't care if you're reading. They even let you smoke fucking cigarettes sometimes. Like, you can make friends. Like, they don't give a shit if you want to look out the fucking window all day. They don't give a fuck. Mm-hmm. But here, every single thing you do is watched. It's recorded. It's written down in a little big binder with your fucking name on it. And
a little big binder.
I know. I realized as soon as I said it.
Sorry.
I realized what I didn't do. I was talking because I want to say a little binder, but then I'm thinking of it in my head, so I said big binder, but yeah.
It was thick, but little. Yeah. Sorry. Sorry, that's how my brain works. It's like, I said it.
I realized as soon as I said it to him, I was like, damn, I really.
Okay, I'm glad I didn't offend you with that, because I say stuff faster than my brain even says it. So anyway, okay, sorry. So is this place like religious based, or what is it?
Yes, Mormon, heavily. Basically, the initial idea when you get in there, after you're told like you're not getting out and blah 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 blah. It's I believe one of the first things said to me was, if I pray to the angel of Moroni, maybe I can get out sooner. And then the idea was that the girls that practice Mormonism are treated a lot nicer. They get a lot more privileges, and they get more of an opportunity for people to vouch for you to get out and go home. As basically they'll like low key, they'll like emotionally blackmail you. Like, if you join, when you get out, if you come with us to the church, then you can get out of here and you can, you know, go be at home with your parents again.
Fucked up. An entire year of that.
Yeah, it was so fucking scary and rough. And I honestly had no religious. My guardian dad, his sister tried to push Christianity on me. She would make me read the Bible and take me to Bible stuff. And I was like, eh. But I still really just in my brain had no, it just went in one ear and out the other. And so when I went to Utah, it was sort of the same thing where I was just like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? You know, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. And I definitely prayed and would be like, please get me out of here. But I mostly prayed to my mom. Like, I would just beg my mom, like, Mom, this is fucking crazy. Please see this. Please get me out of here. Like, what the fuck? And, yeah, I think honestly, dude, November 22nd will be, like 13 years to the day, 12 or 13 years to the day that I got out.
This is, yeah, this is bananas.
But absolutely fucking bananas.
Huh. Okay. So now, okay, sorry. I'm just processing and putting
it's
it over.
Okay.
So then you go, quote unquote, home. They say, fine, you're graduated, whatever. We don't care. Here you go.
I think it was because I honestly blackmailed them. I was almost 17 and I was like, I remember telling the guardian mom, like, if you don't get me out of here, I will stay here until I'm 18 and I will take my chances when I'm an adult. But you can get me out. I said, if I was like, I'll spend my 17th birthday in here, but if you make me spend Christmas in here, I will stay here. I will never come home. I will just stay here forever and don't even try anymore, basically. And I was like, you can just pay for me to stay here and I'll just fuck off. And I was out like 3 or 4 weeks later.
So it wasn't like you graduated from the treatment place either.
No, which is an impossible feat, by the way. If I even explained it to you, oh my God, it's like dude, this is what I'm saying.
They want you to join a cult, basically.
I think, yeah, but and like I said, everything is monitored, and so the idea of graduating this program, let me try to explain it and keep it short. But basically, you wake up during the day, you have 5 points, and if you can get through the whole day without breaking a single rule, then you can keep those 5 points and you carry those points to the next day. And if you can just keep doing that and build up your points, then you can earn privileges. And once you earn like 6,000 fucking points and you've earned level 6, you filed applications with all the people in the building. They've all met and discussed your application and approved it and gone over your points and gone over your binder and decided that cumulatively you can go home, and they have a conversation with your parents about it, then you can fucking go home. But you will lose your 5 points for any consequence you receive that day. And you can receive a consequence for not asking to turn on a light switch, not asking to leave a room, looking out of the window without permission, speaking without permission, not eating all of your food, going to the bathroom for more than the allotted time. Things like that.
Amy, this sounds completely reasonable. I don't know what your problem is. You selfish bitch.
Yeah, just fucking get it together, Amy. Ask to go in the room. So, yeah, I'm getting thrown into like a boot camp. I'm getting kidnapped in the night. The day of my first track meet. I'm 16 years old. They come in my room, and I remember it like so vividly. They walked in my room and turned on the light, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, I just woke up and was like, what the fuck? And these men came into my room, these big dudes. They came in my room and they were like, you have to get up right now and get dressed and come with us, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, dude, I don't even have pants on. And they were like, get up and put your pants on. We're not leaving this room, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh my God. And they took me with them. And then, yeah, I didn't come home for a year.
Good Lord. So, okay. So then
And my
you do.
sister was nowhere. Just so we're clear, she was nowhere at this time. So this all happened, and it just crickets.
So okay. So then you do go home. You get your scholarship or whatever they call it, diploma, and do you go back living with those people, or are you like,
no,
I'm gonna get a hotel?
Once I left them, when I got out of Utah in November of 2011, and then I was like gone by the next summer, and so it was obviously not very long of my being home before it just, I had to, you know what I mean? I had to leave for good, and I just knew, I knew that I had no idea what I was doing, that I had no idea what was fucking out there. But I felt so in my gut and my heart that if I did not leave, that man was going to kill me, or I was going to kill myself. And I was just like, fuck this, I'm going to try. And I remember one of the last conversations I had with him, he told me, he was like, no one's going to love you. No one's going to help you. No one's going to want you. You're fucked. You're fucked out there. And I was like, dude, I would rather be out there, you fucking weird old prick. Goodbye. Good fucking riddance. And
I'll take my chances.
Yeah,
Dave.
I remember we both like flipped each other the bird as he's like tearing it up. And I was like, get the fuck out of here. And I was like, you know, I'm 17. I've got like a little bun in my hair. And I'm like, get out of here. And it was just absolutely.
He didn't talk this way with any of the other kids?
No. Nope. They didn't provoke him like that. They did not get angry at him like that. It was like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, daddy. Yes, sir. And
maybe you're like, reflecting something he doesn't like about himself back to him.
You know what? I think you might be onto something.
Maybe I am a doctor.
I don't know. Sounds like it, honestly. You're really onto it. Yeah.
Well.
So it was easy to leave. It was easy to say goodbye. It was easy to just be like, fuck that. And
big hug goodbye. Best of luck.
See ya. Yeah. And so, yeah. And that was that on that. Boom.
I just noticed how opposite our
chapter.
I got a light shirt. You got a dark shirt. I got a black background. You got a light. This is nice. It's
very opposite. Yeah. I like your hat though, too. I love the hat. Just saying.
Can you read it?
Yeah. Broken crayon still color. I do love it. Yeah.
I just got it. So I'm like, all pumped.
Really, really cool.
Anyway, that was a bit of a squirrel moment there for me. So what was life like? I mean, was it all like better after you left, or was there still like, oh God, what have I done?
No,
what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, after I was on my own, I mean, yeah, I thought it was all cool and fucking fun because I got to do whatever the fuck I wanted, and I didn't have to fucking answer to anybody ever again for the rest of my motherfucking life, and I was like living that up, but also because I don't have to answer to anybody ever again for the rest of my fucking life, I'm making crazy reckless decisions, and nobody's telling me that these are crazy reckless decisions, and people are trying to tell me, but I'm just like not hearing it, and
so one extreme to the next. It's like,
yeah, that was pretty much after that. Once I was an adult, it was like drugs and sex and all bad things.
Rock and roll.
Yep, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, pure, just, yeah, wildness, and not good, and, yeah, it just wasn't the coolest, it wasn't the coolest time in my life, I should say.
Right. But, at the time, did you think it was the coolest time in your life?
I don't know.
Yeah, I hear you.
Did, honestly, but I probably secretly was also like, there's got to be more than this.
Right, yeah. I hear you. I go around and do public speaking, and I talk about my story all the time, and it's like that chunk of my life span, too, like when I first left home and stuff, it was, kind of a similar lifestyle, and it was like I was having the time of my life,
Yeah.
but I was also miserable, and it was like
Yes.
it was like
Yeah. And you're pretending you're so happy and like, yeah, man. But you're just like only doing that because you're not happy.
yeah, that's right. So what changed? What was the turning point? Or have you gotten there yet?
No, I've definitely got there. I mean, the turning point didn't happen. I mean, I left that family and all the fucking shit, and I left my sister behind for good when I was 17. And I think the turning point didn't come for a long time until I was maybe 23 or 24. And so it was a lot of years of just up and down turmoil. Like, I can't keep a job. I can't stay in the same city. I can't stay in the same living situation. I can't keep fucking friends. Like, I'm just blowing it everywhere. You know what I mean? And then when I was 23, I got pregnant. And it was a time in my life when I was doing a lot of drugs and I was in a bad relationship and so bad. And so I made the decision to have an abortion. And that happened, and that was sort of a turning point for me. And I decided after that, you know, I could still go to college. I could turn my life around. Like, this doesn't have to be, you know what I mean? Whoa. And then I fucking got pregnant again in the same year. And I had to have another abortion. No, different guys. And it was a lot. And then after that, I was like, full stop. This is fucking a lot. This is a lot. And so after that, and that was about 4 or 5 years ago now, 5 years ago. And so that was when the official turning point happened. And it was like, I had already been done with drugs, but now it's like, I'm for real. Like, I'm going forward. It's never going to be a thing again. I'm done with the reckless sex. I'm done with the reckless life. I'm done not caring for myself. I'm done driving my life into the ground. I didn't want to. I thought a lot about my mom, and I just, especially going through those abortions, it was like, that's really serious, and it's very uncomfortable for a lot of people to even hear about and talk about, and let alone experience. And I just thought a lot about my mom and my grandma and what they would be telling me and what they would be doing in that moment. And that really helped me turn things around, because I didn't feel like my mom was, I did not hear my mom and grandma or any of my ancestors in my ear angry at me, ashamed of me. I did not hear any of that. I did not hear that. I did not hear that. And I heard, you know, I just heard voices of courage. I heard voices of...
I see.
I don't know what the word is, but just, yeah, and just fighting through that shame. Like, just fucking, it was so hard. But, you know, I just had to, like, you know, tear through it little by little. And that was when I truly turned it around.
To be honest with you, I've been wanting to do an episode on abortion for a while, and I even had someone booked, and then they have mental health issues and they kind of back down. But I like, we're kind of grazing over it a little bit, but so I want to come back to it. But
yeah,
I imagine that's not an easy decision. And I've talked to people about abortion before, just not on the podcast, and the amount of regret or guilt or shame. And it's like, I thank you so much for being so vulnerable and talking about all of this stuff. But do you mind just kind of touching on that a bit?
No, not at all. I'm happy to talk about it. And I know that sounds kind of weird, but I don't want women to be ashamed. You know what? And these fucking people came to my school at Fresno City College, and they had the big burning baby signs. And I stood up in front of my whole school and I told them, this is not what it looks like. This is not what happens. This is not the case. And I did have people come up to me and they were like, you are sick. You're going to burn in hell. And I was like, okay, I'll be there picking you up. Like, get real, like, stop. And no, it wasn't an easy decision in a sense, because I knew there's no fucking way I can be a parent. And I knew that, to me, the most like maternal loving thing I can do for this, you know, baby, so to speak,
I don't know.
Yeah. I'm gonna send it back. You know, I'm just gonna send it back. I can't take care of you. And as someone who's been placed in the hands of someone who I thought was gonna care for me and did not, I'm not willing to do that again. And I'm not willing to do that to someone else. And I'm not gonna have a child unless I can care for that child. And that's just going to be that on that. And I didn't plan on it. It was really, and it was, yeah, it was, but I learned a lot about myself, and I was lucky.
Whoa. Vroom, vroom.
Sorry. What?
Vroom, vroom.
I know. I'm so sorry.
Fucking Fresno.
Fucking Fresno, dude. People got a ring all over the town. I'm like, get your freaking brat browns out of here on fucking, we're in Fresno. Like, get real.
Nothing to cut the subject matter of abortion like.
I know. Oh my God.
Okay. Anyway, we were getting deep and emotional for a second.
We were getting deep. Yeah, we were getting deep. No, it wasn't an easy decision. I was just saying I was lucky because I know that there's a lot of people in this country that can't make that decision, or I think they're even trying right now. I think I saw something the other day. They're trying to like prevent women from even leaving the cities to get abortions, and it's absolutely fucking insane to me. I can't even begin to like process that little nugget of anger right there just about that, because yeah, as I've experienced it, I just can't imagine the people who I called Planned Parenthood and they helped me. There were the most amazing women by my side, and it wasn't easy, but it was easier because of those small little things. And I know that there's so many women out there who just don't have that, or who weren't even able to get an abortion, who wanted an abortion and couldn't get one, or were too scared to get one, or whatever. They got guilted into having their baby or whatever. And
it's intense. I mean,
it's very fucking intense. And
yeah, I don't like getting too political at times, but it just drives me nuts that the people that are pushing pro-life are also the people pushing like taking away social programming for people that can't have babies or can't afford to have babies or aren't in, you know, the right places or spaces in their life to have babies.
Well, and I think pregnant women too, like, where's their fucking concern in healthcare too? Like, the healthcare system is shit, and now you want to put when I was carrying a thing inside me and it's growing a potential child, I was sicker than I'd ever been in my life, and my body has never recovered, and I didn't even carry that child to term. And so I can't even fucking imagine what women who are carrying, delivering, home delivering, natural delivering, multiple babies, all of it. I can't even imagine these things that are going on. And I'm like, are you even fucking taking care of them and their kids? I don't think so. So like, why are you forcing all of this to happen and then overturn the world in the meantime? It just doesn't make any sense or add up to me.
Yeah, I mean, I have theories, but I don't want to.
Yeah, no, it's hard not to be political, but it's like, it's being made into a political thing, and it's just hard.
Yeah. So you hit that turning point.
We did hit the turning point.
You're like, so it was after your second abortion, and you started to find that voice from your grandmother and mother again, and it's not shame, it's not lecturing, it's just support and love.
It's just support and love. And I just knew that My friend actually also told me she's sort of a medium, and she told me that I shouldn't say sort of. She is a medium. I'm not trying to discredit her. She is a medium. She's a full
pushing a large, extra large. Sorry.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and that was funny. And she had a vision of my mom. She was like, "Your mom's sending me a vision of her holding a baby. Do you know what that means?" And I was like, at first I was like, "No." She's like, "Are there children in your future?" And I was like, "No." And then I was like, actually, I understand what you're telling me. And so, and she just told me that like just a few weeks ago. And so to me, that was my mom saying that like she has my baby. And I don't know why she only showed me one, but that's fine. And yeah, so I reached a turning point after that. I had already started raising Amy after that. I had my first abortion, and then I want to say it was 2016 or 17. And then the summer right after, I started working on this book. And then the following winter, I went through the same fucking thing. And so I was just like, fuck. And then, but the drugs were gone. I put the abortion shit behind me. I just did my best to move on and take care of myself, honestly. I got birth control. I did all the things. I got off the sex, got off the bad dudes, all of it, and changed my last name. Excuse me. I changed my last name from my father's to my mom's, and so that's why I'm Amy Ronhaar now. And I went back to school and kept working on the book, and just slowly, and it's been a daily fucking thing. I went to therapy. I got into, I do DBT, dialectical behavioral therapy. I've been doing that since like early spring of 2019, which is just a couple months after I had my second abortion. And so I've been in therapy ever since, and that's helped me exponentially in my life. So yeah, it's just been only upward from there. It was a lot of downward, a lot of hopelessness, a lot of am I ever going to fucking get up? And yeah.
Good on you. I've just been doing some EMDR therapy.
Nice. Yeah. That's cool.
My wife is a body talk practitioner. I don't know if you know what body talk is.
No, that sounds cool though.
Oh, you're not down with the new wave. It's similar to like a Reiki kind of thing. There's like tapping.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And the body holds trauma and things like
that.
Yeah. So what is say it again, the therapy you're doing?
Dialectical behavioral therapy. Basically there's just like I forget what all 4 pillars are, but there's like 4 main things, and it's about like regulating your emotions, learning to respond and not react, interpersonal effectiveness, learning things like that. I went to anger management not too long after that. And so it's just a lot. It's just a lot of that, because I definitely realized that everything came out in the way I behaved, and especially in my seemingly romantic relationships that were like actually drug-addled and abusive and angry, and just two people helping each other repeat patterns. And so I was just like, you know what? I need to get some fucking help. This is crazy. This is crazy. And so, yeah, and that helped me. Yeah.
And so here you are.
Here I am, and I wrote a book about all the fucking shit, and I told the whole world about all the horrible things I did.
Well, bless you.
I went through.
Do you still hold resentment to that family and to your sister, or has there been any kind of what's the word?
I mean, my sister and I are friends on Instagram, and I will always have love for her, because she was my sister when I was a baby, and she's my mom's child. She's the only other person on this planet that shares her as a mom. And, you know, I respect that obviously and love her for that. My sister, you know, we're never going to have a relationship. I've come to kind of beyond Instagram, you know, I've accepted that. It hurts my feelings every day. It is a pain like no other. I wish I had a sister,
Is
but
she near you?
no, she's lived in New York for the
Oh,
last like 10 years, and she's 2 years older than me. She'll be 32 or 33 next year.
okay.
And like, you know, like I said, we both have very different ideas of what happened as kids. We both had very different experiences. Um, she I will never be able to forgive her fully because she will never think that she did anything wrong or has anything to be sorry for. And so it's so much of me, even us being friends on Instagram, that's me being willing to do that. You know what I mean? And so, and she posts my face on her Instagram and she calls me her sister, and it's very unsettling, to be honest, but I don't really argue about it, and I just kind of let it be. I don't show her face. I don't say her name. I didn't name her in my book. She told me I could, but I didn't. And that's why those pictures I chose of her in my book are specifically where her back is turned, or her head is turned. I put a photo of her with my mom in there, but her face is turned. That's just my way of trying to protect her privacy. Have
you ever considered maybe you're both kind of like how your, not your stepdad, whatever.
guardian dad, dude.
Yeah, your guardian dad was upset at you because there was a reflection back to him, and it's like she thinks you should be apologizing to her, and you think you should be apologizing to her, but it's just a big fucked up shitty situation, and you both are two different people that dealt with shit differently. And
yeah, no, I think that is what I think I don't think she wants an apology from me because I don't think she cares. And I'm never going to get an apology from her because, yeah, she just doesn't care. And I don't think she thinks she did anything wrong. And it's not necessarily that I did anything wrong. It's just, yeah, we have two, different ideas of what happened. We handled things very differently, and had very different lives afterward because of that. And, you know, she went to college, she went to UC Santa Cruz and then moved to Brooklyn and got like a degree, and she's got a house now and she's fine. And like, I struggled. And
you don't know her well enough to know
if
she's emotionally, mentally traumatized, and this is.
I personally do believe so. Honestly, I do believe that
the perfect life is just a mask, right?
Yes, and we only see what people want us to see, which is true. And I do believe that, you know, respectfully, I think my sister I think she does have cognitive developmental issues because of what happened to us. And I don't blame her for that at all, which is how I'm even able to be here where we are now, because it's definitely been a battle. And there's definitely been times in our life where like almost 10 years ago, we got in some kind of text fight. And I remember like letting it rip in a text. And I was like, "You're the worst sister. You're not my sister. You're not my family." Like, blah, blah, blah. And, cause she didn't want to like come see me for Christmas or something. It was, you know, so it's been like a total uphill battle with her. And we are where we are now. And I've told her I love her. And, these paintings are actually by her. She painted those. Those are actually by her. And so there's little things, you know, she's there, but it's just this, it's almost reversed where it's like, you know, I even said in the book, like, she kept an arm's length away from me, and she did that when we were kids, and now that's kind of me as an adult. I'm just like, you can just see from the outside, and like, obviously I care about her. I want to know that she's healthy. I want to know, like, okay, you're in Brooklyn, you're working, you have a house, you've got kids? Your husband, I don't think she has kids, but I know she's got a boyfriend or husband, and you know, she's doing her thing. And if something happens to her, I want to know, and things like that. But it's never going to be the sister that I wanted and I feel I should have had in her. And so that's where it gets, and I've had to like talk to my mom about it. Like I've had to like had little conversations about it, and yeah.
So are you single? And
No, I'm married. I actually he might kill me for saying it, but I just asked my boyfriend John to marry me last night. I asked him to marry me.
Cool. You heard it here first, folks.
And he's like, you didn't even give me the chance, but it's his birthday. And so I couldn't wait, and I got his present, and I couldn't wait. And his present was his ring, and it was this big thing, and I was crying, and he was crying, and I called his mom right after, or texted his mom right after, and it was this big thing. And so I asked him to marry me, and he said yes. So I'm engaged.
Amazing.
I tell everyone I'm married. I just say I'm getting married, and we're hopefully going to do that soon enough. But yeah.
Am I invited?
Totally. You can totally come be the witness. We're going to just go elope. So.
Oh, well, that.
Are you in California? Are you on the West Coast?
You don't know where I am?
No.
I am in the town of Indian Head, the province of Saskatchewan, Canada.
That's amazing. That is so amazing. Okay, no wonder you like my post about sending copies to Canada. I was like, what? What does it have to do? But and there was a time difference, because I was on here like 9 a.m. California time, and then you got on at like 9:15. You're like, we're 10 minutes early, and I was like, are we 10 minutes early?
Did I fuck up the time again?
No, you didn't fuck up the time. I'm just chilling. So I was just like having coffee and like, smoking a bowl and like just doing my thing. And so I was like, oh, I think I might be maybe, and I had my messages open because I was like, maybe something happened, or maybe you overslept, or I don't know. So I was just chilling.
I might have fucked up the time. So
I fucked up because I didn't know you were in fucking Canada, and I should have figured that out.
But usually I have that all figured out. Then I tell people, okay, yeah, we'll meet at 11. But then I know I put in my calendar 9 because it's 9 for me or whatever. But
oh, that's so funny.
But here's the stupid thing with my province. Actually, it's not stupid. It's amazing. It's like one of the only places on earth we never change our clocks. So depending on what time of year, sometimes California is an hour behind. Sometimes it's 2 hours behind. And so daylight savings is coming up again. So then it's like, oh shit, I made all these appointments with people in the States, and now I have to like recalculate stuff. And I'm like, God damn it. So it's annoying, but we're the only people on earth that have it right. Wow. Why do people change their fucking clocks? I don't get it.
That's so weird. Yeah, I've never known anything like that before.
Yeah.
Canada's crazy. My friend in Canada told me that you guys don't have Cash App and stuff, and I was like, what? Like, you guys don't have Cash App? Like, what the fuck?
No, we have way better shit.
That's so fucking crazy. I'm trying to get up there. I grew up on Whidbey Island, like 25 minutes from Surrey, and I've never crossed the border. I've never gone over there, and now I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm waiting for. I need to just get over there.
Well, I am like 2 hours north of like Minot, North Dakota.
Okay.
So yeah, wow. I'm like in the middle of nowhere, kind of.
The real middle of Canada.
Yeah.
That's it. That's neat.
But I have a California connection. I have friends that live in Santa Barbara, and we've been there like 3 or 4 times. So.
Oh yeah, I'm near Yosemite, so.
I'm familiar with California, so.
Yeah, I'm just in the crappy valley right now.
I mean, I think all of California is fucking cool, man.
Well, Fresno's not. I mean, Yosemite's cool, and like the surrounding areas of the valley are cool, but
I mean that one state. I know. Still, though, you have access to so much biodiversity, from rainforest to desert to ocean to fucking mountains to like. It is so cool. Yeah,
it's been cool. It's definitely had its benefits.
You can go to the desert and go skiing in the same day. It's like rad.
Honestly, yeah.
But anyway.
Pretty neat. That's pretty neat. That kind of stuff's pretty neat.
This probably won't make it into the episode, by the way.
I'm not worried about what does and doesn't. Don't worry. It's your episode, so I don't care.
Okay, let's, in conclusion.
Yeah. We were talking about,
So you're now engaged.
I'm engaged.
You're cordial with your sister online.
Mm-hmm.
And so now you've got this book. Like what are your hopes for the next year after going through all this and being, I'll say, in recovery, or you're recovering?
Yeah, no, I definitely would say I feel like recovery is just going to be like lifelong for me. I feel like it is.
Bravo.
Yeah, I feel
because it is. I can fucking tell you.
Yeah, I just feel like recovery is going to be lifelong. It's daily practice. I'm always learning new things. I still struggle so much with reacting and not being able to like take a second instead to calm down and then respond. I still struggle so much. I'm very reactive, like not violent or like scary reactive, but I just like, I'm like, I'll emotionally like flip, and I panic or get sad, or I assume things, or, you
feel hard.
Yeah, I feel really hard, and it's definitely something I have to like watch and keep track of. And I definitely have to be aware of myself and aware of like where I'm directing my energy and how I'm feeling in all areas. Like, it's a lot. So it's just, I feel like recovery is forever. And that's why I love my therapist, and shout out Jamie. And I love her so much. And she's changed my life, and she's my fucking bestie. My hopes for the future, John, he's my fucking best friend. Hopefully we're going to move up north in the coming months.
How north?
Well, we want to go to Washington, I think. And so we'll go there. And I have another book in the works. I'm going to put out a volume of poetry next year that I've made, and then in 2025 I will be putting out a revised and extended version of Raising Amy for the 20-year anniversary of my mom's passing. And that's hopefully more books will come. I have so many ideas for books, but I'm like, execution, I'm not sure what I want to actually like focus on.
So that time again for that Some Bunny special, a segment where we chat about who cooperated in your mental health journey and helped fulfill your emotional tank, brought to you by Co-op. So Amy, is there anybody you want to give a shout out to that's been there for you throughout your wacky adventures?
Yes. Shout out my therapist, Jamie.
Right on. And was she just like in the yellow pages you found her, or?
No, I honestly, one day I think I just Googled, I had Medi-Cal, so I was like Googling for Medi-Cal therapists, and I found one. I didn't even realize I was going to behavioral therapy until I got there, and then I was like, you know what? Yeah, this is like 100% for me. This is actually dead ass who I am. This is what I need. And I had another therapist before her actually, but I'm going to the same company, but Jamie's been my therapist for the last 3 years, and she's my best friend. She's given me all the tools in the world that I need to navigate. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. It's amazing when you decide to be open for healing and open to the universe and accept things that something is trying to show you. I don't want to sound flaky or whatever, but it's amazing once you kind of remove the veil and open your eyes a bit that, you're able to accept the things that are being shown to you. And sometimes those are people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Be sure to subscribe and to like this video. You can listen on Apple Podcast and Spotify. This is Todd Rennebaum saying, make your beds and take your meds. Keep watching for more interviews with incredible people telling their stories of resilience and adversity with mental health and mental illness.